Hi everybody, I hope you've had a really fantastic day. It's now time for our bedtime story. And for this bedtime story, we're going to read from this book here, A Diary of a Disciple, which is Luke's story. It is written by Gemma Willis and illustrated by Emma Randall. It is a fantastic book. Now I've got a question for you. Do you know what happened after Jesus had been crucified? Well, lots of people saw that he'd come back to life again. And one of the stories I'm going to read to you now tonight is the time where Jesus appears to two disciples on the way to Emmaus and what happened next. Here we go. Later on, two of the disciples were on their way to a place called Emmaus. Say Emmaus, not Emmaus. They were walking slowly along the road. Feeling sorry for themselves, they couldn't stop talking and thinking about everything that had happened. And they were wearing super sad faces. They didn't know what to believe anymore. The man they'd trusted, the man they'd followed, the man they'd listened to was gone. Jesus came close to the disciples and walked along next to them. For a while, they didn't even notice him. But when they did, they didn't recognize him at all. So he started to talk to them. What are you talking about? They looked at Jesus with their sad faces, and they looked at each other with a slightly confused look. Are you the only person in the whole of Jerusalem who doesn't know what has just happened? One of them said. Maybe. What do you mean? Said Jesus. Everything that happened to Jesus, the carpenter's son from Nazareth, he did amazing things and showed people that he was a messenger from God. Everyone loved him. Then the chief priests got him arrested for no reason, and then they had him crucified. We thought he was going to be the one who would set us free. We thought he was the Messiah, but that all ended 3 days ago. Some of the women who've been following us around reckon they went to Jesus' tomb and his body was gone. They said some shiny, glowing guys told them that Jesus was alive. Our friend Peter has been to the tomb to check, and he says it was empty too, but there was no Jesus anywhere to be found. Jesus smiled, and he said to the disciples, "Can't you see? Why don't you get it? Think about everything you've been told. Surely you knew that the Messiah had to suffer first, before everything was made right." Jesus explained everything that God's messengers had said about him years and years and years before, and they listened to him as they walked. When they were getting close to Emmaus, they slowed down near the house they were staying in. Jesus seemed to have somewhere else to go and was about to leave. When the disciples said, "Don't go, stay here with us. It's late, it'll be dark soon." So Jesus went inside with them and stayed for a while. They all sat down to have a meal together. Jesus picked up the bread from the table, thanked God for it, and then passed it around. The disciples froze and stared and kept on staring. Their eyes grew wider by the second, then suddenly knew exactly who this man was. But before they could say anything or do anything, Jesus had vanished. Of course it was him. Why didn't we realize sooner? The way he was speaking when we were walking, the way he told us what had been written about him, it's really him. Even though it was the middle of the night, they knew they had to tell the others. They left straight away and went back to Jerusalem. It was all true. The others needed to know. Hey, what a fantastic reminder about what happened the day that Jesus came back to life again. You can read more of that inside Diary of a Disciple, Luke's story. Good night.